individually, collectively transforming community, peace in our human family.
One love, one growth, as above, so below. Feel the pain in my soul, the red pill dissolved. Organized, no matter the cost. Politicians start wars, they don't fight, they sit the poor. And nothing lasts forever as long as we stay together. Give hell to the masses, watch the unity rapture. This is for the kids and the culture. It's one love, one growth, one light warriors. Good day, everybody out there in the beautiful cities and the beautiful suburbs, all around America, from the African diaspora to the Palestinian diaspora to the Middle Eastern diaspora, Asian diaspora, all diasporas, every single one. I got my mic back, so everything is good for right now. I found my mic when I was moving, and it was in one of those damn boxes. And it wasn't damaged; it was really good. So I hope I sound really beautiful right now. I have a very, very special guest on the podcast today. As I'm seen,
Amsi.
Thank you so much for correcting me. Amsi.
Amsi. AMSI.
Yes, AMSI. MC.
Yeah.
MC is a Bollywood pop artist based out in New York. She has a new song out called G. Actually, you say it right because I don't want to master it. Go ahead. It's so great, by the way.
It is a difficult name, but so the phrase is Jeete Raho, and Jeete Raho means to live long and prosper. It's a type of blessing.
Now, are you Muslim, or are you? I know you mentioned that you're not Hindu, but you're celebrating the holiday for today.
So today is Diwali. To all my Hindu brothers and sisters, happy Diwali.
Solidarity.
I hope you guys have lots of love, prosperity, abundance of light and happiness. I am Muslim, but I always love wishing my Hindu brothers and sisters a happy Diwali because it is such a special holiday and it's so beautiful.
I love that you do that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're all
especially the stigma that's between Hinduism and Islam.
I mean, there's no reason for it. I think for so many years we've all been, antagonizing each other for no reason. And I think it's important that we celebrate each other's beautiful holidays. And, I think I've learned a lot from, my parents who have always celebrated, whether it was Diwali, whether it was Holi, whether it was Eid, anything. They were like, we're down to celebrate Christmas, whatever it is. It has a reason to celebrate is a reason to celebrate,
Right.
Like it's supposed to be fun and you're supposed to uplift one of each other during these special holidays. And I think it's almost kind of silly to not, acknowledge or, uplift one each other during the holiday season. I mean, that's what holidays are all about,
Facts.
That's what it is. And why wouldn't you want to celebrate? I mean, I would want a day off for every single holiday that existed.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to be acknowledged. I like to have fun and I like to, look at people's different, cultures and see how they celebrate, compare it to mine, and then, know, together and make it something really special. I think blending of cultures is so beautiful, and why not?
It definitely, I resonate with that so strongly. I love that because that's an American ideal. I mean, everybody talk about, let's coexist. This is what America should be doing.
I mean, like that's what Jeete is about. It's about, understanding who you are, knowing that there's no reason for you not to be who you are. As immigrants, especially, we get told we're not enough of our culture. So I'm not for example, me, I'm not Indian enough. but I'm also
Mm,
not American enough. Like people will
mm,
look at me and they'll be like, "You're not American," and
yeah.
then people in India will be like, "Well, you're certainly not Indian." So,
Oh,
but it's also just like, I mean, who cares? Like,
right,
who are you to tell me who I am? I
right,
know who I am. I
right.
can celebrate the beauty of American culture, meatloaf, Thanksgiving, mashed
Right,
potatoes. I can celebrate, all of those things, the beauty of American culture. At the same time, I can also celebrate the beauty of Indian culture.
right,
And there's nothing that can stop me. And the more I get to celebrate, the better off I am. And
right,
I don't think anything should hold you back from owning either identity. Instead of
correct.
having to pick and choose, you can be whoever you want to be, and you don't need to check off a box, or you don't need to. You can represent whoever you want, and it's great. It's a beautiful thing to know that you are someone unique, and you can
Mm,
bring so much more to the table in that way. So that's what Jeet Ho is really trying to encompass, is trying to empower people to embrace who they are, no matter what it is, whether it's, I'm part of the LGBTQ community, but my religion doesn't allow me to, be fully out.
mm.
It's like, no, 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 you
Oh,
can
you're queer as well?
I'm not queer myself, but
Oh, or you
I
just give an
I'm
example. Got
definitely
you.
a big ally. I'm definitely a big ally. But like
Thank you.
stuff like
Thank you.
that, like
I'm
holding.
queer.
Oh, yay! I'm probably a big ally. I because people hold so many different identities, and I think we all get subjected to try to like pick and choose which one we get to hold, and it's like
Hmm.
you don't have to pick and choose anything. You get to be whoever you want to be.
Right,
You belong on this earth just as much as everybody else. You came here just like everybody else.
right.
So I don't think that it's fair to make people pick and choose. You can still be a Christian and still, be part of the LGBTQ community,
Right.
or you could still be a Muslim and you can still, celebrate and have fun during Diwali. Like there's
Mm,
nothing holding you back from
mm.
celebrating and enjoying other people's light and energy.
Yes. This is as MC.
Yes.
MC. She, she has a new single out called
Yes.
G Quando. And I
Jeete
just,
ho.
you know what? You just say
Wait, I
it.
can ready? Jeete Raho.
Jite
Jeete
Raho.
Raho. Yeah, you got
Jite
it.
Raho. All right, I got it. See, this is how we learn. This is how we build and break boundaries here. I just learned
Yes.
a whole new term. Jite
Yes.
Raho is her new single. Just check it out. It's on YouTube, all platforms. I found it out because I discovered you when I interviewed Janan Matari.
Yeah.
Um, she is absolutely dope. And I saw that she did like a little TikTok version of your song. And
Yeah.
at first I thought she was singing. And I was like, why am I being naive like I'm a boomer? She's not. I understand technology. Like my grandfather would probably be like, oh, look, she's singing. But no,
Yeah.
no. Like I felt so stupid. I messaged her and I was like, "Hey, I didn't know you could sing. You're an artist too." And she was like, "No, that's not me.
That's Amsi.
That's my friend." I was like, "Oh." And then I looked. That's when I got into the rabbit hole because I do a lot of artist interviews on this podcast,
Mhm.
and I go into the rabbit hole on understanding everybody and looking you guys up and all this stuff. And then I was like, I need to get her on my podcast. I have interviewed Afrobeat artists. I have interviewed hip hop legends. I need to get her on my podcast. I need to get some
Thank
more
you.
diversity up in here. And
Thank you.
as a Muslim woman, do
Mhm.
you? Because for instance, this is a great question I should ask people. From my background, I come from the church,
Mhm.
Christian singing and stuff, and I get a lot of criticism from my local friends that know about me that are Christian from the Christian side.
Mhm.
They do not like the fact that I switch my genre as a rapper and as a percussionist as to what they call worldly music. So basically, just
Mm.
general funk genre without Christianity, general Afrobeat genre without Christianity, reggae, all that stuff. They feel that I stole from the Christianity culture, and this is just recent conversations. Have anybody Muslim did not like that you are doing a mainstream pop type of Bollywood style? Have you ever gotten any criticism from that for being
Um,
non-Muslim?
it's interesting because I think I got a lot of criticism more early on.
Mm,
I mean, I try to prevent, that type of because it hurts. Regardless
mm,
of what it is, it hurts.
right.
Um, and I'm not necessarily the most religious person on planet Earth. I'm not gonna
Mm,
say, I'm, so like intense, but at the same time, my spirituality is, kind of my own
right.
personal. It's my personal space. So when
Right.
people try to invade that space and try to, kind of diminish who you are based off of the fact that like you're not doing something correct, it really does make you feel less than, and they try to do that on purpose to try to silence you. And I've just learned that rather than taking that and feeling awful, it's almost like embracing that and being like, you know what, this is what I am, and if you can't accept me and if you want to judge me, that's on you, it's
I
not
like
on
that.
me.
Yeah.
It's more of just, I'm gonna do what I do. This is where I find creativity. This is where I find love. This is where I find spirituality.
Mm,
And if you have, 10 million problems with it, I can't really do much about it. That's
mm,
on you. It's not on me. I'm gonna do things my way. If you do have a genuine concern, like I don't mind people voicing their opinions. But
mm,
at the end of the day, it's my decision. And
mm,
it is very difficult as a Muslim woman, I think, because we get put again in these boxes. We are told, you know, Muslim women have to, like, when you think Muslim women, you think hijab, you think, all of that. And we're so much more than that. And there have been so many, I think TikTok really has changed a lot of the viewing of what Muslim women are, because we are
mm,
so diverse and we are so different. And like,
yeah.
we all have different goals and ideas of what it means to be Muslim. And there's like 1.3 billion of us. Like
Yep.
there's
That's
obviously
awesome.
going to be, there's obviously going to be some sort of like difference,
Right. Right.
So I think people forget that. And like, this is not to say that I won't stick up. I'm always going to be a person who's going to stick up for religious freedom, regardless of whether it's Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, whatever it is. I'm always the person who's going to stick up for human rights. So I think where that comes from is just, the idea of, this is where my spirituality has led me, is that I will stick up for the underdog no matter what. And this is why, this is my purpose in life. And as long as I keep that purpose in my, center, I don't need to worry about all this noise about, you're not wearing a hijab, don't speak.
Mhm.
You're not doing this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
don't
Right.
need to know from people that I'm not good enough, because I don't allow that energy to even penetrate anymore, because I know my purpose. I know my job. And
Mm,
that is to, kind of it's using my platform in a way to help others. And if helping others is being authentically myself, then there's nothing like it.
mm, mm. I like that. That's so important. Just owning yourself and living your truth and being strong in your own spirituality. That's so important.
Yeah, because
I
no one can really take it away from you. I mean,
right.
you're not allowed to do that. I don't think in any religion anyone is allowed to say you're less than just because you don't do. I mean, people do it,
Hmm.
obviously, but I don't think it's not allowed in many religions to judge others. Like, that's like religion 101.
Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
so I think I often get frustrated being like, what are you talking about? This person isn't Christian enough, or this person isn't Jewish enough, just because of their, whatever. It's like, that's not up to you. I'm sorry, but like, that
Yeah.
isn't up to you. You're just a human just like me, so it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, there's no room for you to judge
Yeah.
in this situation, especially when you're not doing anything like inherently wrong. Like it's not like people are judging others for, R wording or murder.
Hmm.
They're judging people for things that are just kind of like simple human things. And I'm like,
Right.
this is just being human. Like, leave people alone.
Right. And there's just so, like, for Christianity as well, there's so many branches to find God, just
Yeah.
like, so it's like, what gives you the right to try to say, well, this is the path when there's
Mhm.
just so many different branches? Like, I don't know how many branches of Islam there is, but for Christianity, there's like almost
Yeah.
hundreds,
I think
honestly,
you guys
at
are
this point.
more, well, to be fair, I think like you guys have been around longer. Technically, Islam is considered like a newer religion.
Mhm.
So like our development phase is still, we're still, even though it's been here for a really long time, it's not as long as Judaism and Christianity. And so
Right.
I think we're still developing certain things and adapting in a way um, that, people are not sure how to adapt in certain ways. It's a very interesting, dynamic in uh, our kind of group of people. But I
Mm.
just try to focus on just, instead of, trying to preach or anything like that, just
Right.
focus on, energy and keeping good energy and spreading the good things about, my religion and spreading the good things about just, spirituality in general. Like I don't really like to dwell too much on it.
Mhm.
I just like to just say, you know what, I'm Muslim, this is what I do. If you have a problem with it, then I'm not going to go tit for tat for you on this situation. I'm just going to do me, and
I
that's all
got
I
ish to
can
do.
do. That's all I can do. All I can do is be a human being, and if my goal is to try to help people through that, then I have to achieve that goal, and
Mm.
that's it. So
And And for everyone that's watching, Amsi is also wearing one of her attires from the music video as well. It's looking
yes,
so fly. I was making the comment that how great she looks, and I'm just underdressed around here
no, you're not underdressed. You're
with my
not
marijuana shirt
underdressed.
on. So, are you from? You were born in Germany. Were you
Yes.
raised in Germany, or did you come to the States right after? Were you a military baby?
No, that's
Oh,
the
okay.
crazy thing. I was born in Germany. My dad had a job there, and then
Hmm.
we moved to United States when I was 3. So when I first came to the United States, I knew 3 languages: German, Hindi, and English.
Nice.
I do not know German
Jealous.
anymore. But I don't know any German anymore, but I still speak Hindi in the house and English.
Nice.
My Hindi gets better when I go to India. My cousins would disagree though. They would probably say like you still sound like an American speaking. But it does get better when I go to India. It definitely gets significantly worse when I stay in
Mm.
the States for too long and I don't speak it enough. So I keep trying to watch, films to try to
Oh,
upkeep
nice.
my Hindi. And I have some Desi friends who we try to speak to each other in Hindi just so that we don't trip up.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Is Hindi a hard language to learn? Is it like close to anything that can make it easier for someone that wants to learn?
I think it's a pretty difficult language. It doesn't like it's not like the romantic languages like French and Spanish where like certain,
Hmm.
or Italian where they like have certain shared words. Like it's definitely not like that. It's not Latin based. It's, I believe, Sanskrit based, and then Urdu I think is Arabic based. So basically, when I say I speak Hindi, I'm actually saying that I speak Hindustani, which is a
Mm,
combination of Hindi and Urdu. So there's
mm.
like different words, like for instance, like the word for beautiful, right?
Right, right.
The word for beautiful in Hindi, like pure Hindi, would be sundar. In Urdu, it would be khubsurat. I understand both of them, so could use them interchangeably, but they both mean beautiful, but they're actually different languages. So, like,
Oh,
basically,
okay.
what happened was there was like a combo that got created, and that's what people tend to speak. So it's mostly Hindustani.
Mm,
And in
mm,
India, what's difficult is that almost every state is like almost, it's like going to a different country. Like India is like really diverse in that sense. So if you go to the state that I'm from, Uttar Pradesh, there everyone's speaking Hindustani, but if you go to, let's say, Gujarat, everyone is speaking Gujarati, and they only have some shared words in Gujarati and Hindi. And then
Really?
if you go to South India, they're completely a different language that I
wow.
actually have no idea what they're saying. Like I
So
can't.
that's kind of like Africa as well.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of different languages.
lots of different languages. Very diverse. It's a very unique country in that way. So like even so, I'm sure you've heard like Punjabi MC like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Na, 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 na,
Yeah,
na.
yeah.
I don't know what they're saying.
Oh.
Even though I'm Indian, I'm not like I have Punjabi blood in me.
Right,
But
right,
like,
right.
my family has not lived in Punjab for a very long time, so we don't speak it in the house. And therefore I'm not able to understand like there's certain words that I can catch, and I'll be like, oh, he's saying this, and like Sornier, I understand what that means. It's like pretty and stuff like that, but like I can't understand like certain other things. Like if someone were to speak really fast to me in Punjabi, I probably would not be able to understand. So it's like really interesting in that way how India is divided up, which is why Jeete Raho, which is I love. It's in obviously that's like a Hindi phrase, but it's just interesting because some of my friends who are like South Indian, they're like, what are you saying? I'm like, oh my God, this is like a normal, this is a phrase that we use all the time. They're like, what are you saying? Like, I don't know. Like, Naam hai mera Kashish, that's the beginning line. Like, that means my name is Kashish. So, like, my actual name is Kashish. My stage name is Amsi. But what's crazy is that, like, my friend from South India cannot understand what I'm saying in my own song. And I'm like, it's so funny because like I'm assuming that people would probably expect you to understand.
Right, right. That's
Which
amazing.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me about like how Creole and patois was made. It's like a mixture of so many different languages and stuff. And
that's why like you can catch certain phrases and you're like, oh, I get that. And then like with certain things, you're like, what? Where's this going?
Right. It's really beautiful. Do you visit India often, or do you like? I know it's been a pandemic, so
yeah. So
has it been difficult seeing family members and stuff there?
Yeah, so I actually went to India right before the pandemic hit, which was lucky for me because I was able to go see my grandma, see all of my family and friends in India right before it hit. And then the moment I left is when, you know, poop hit the fan.
Yeah, it got real.
So it got very real very quick. And because of that, I wasn't able to go back since, but it only has been a year since I've seen my India.
Oh.
But I was trying to vlog there, and I never actually got around to editing the vlog. Maybe I will. Maybe if your audience encourages me to, I will.
But yeah, definitely. You should always vlog.
Yeah. So I have these clips which are really amazing of me spending time in India and like eating the food and all of that stuff. So it's actually kind of awesome that I was able to do that and like, you know, be like, here we are and we're doing this and this is happening. And because it gave me like good memories from the trip that I had, I was able to document it more.
What dishes would you recommend? There's an Indian spot right outside the Yale University where I live at. And it's like the only Indian spot, but I haven't went there yet because I don't know what to get, and I don't want to look crazy. My girlfriend's vegetarian, but I eat.
Vegetarian. Vegetarian is perfect for Indian food, because a lot of Indians are vegetarian.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so they have really good vegetarian dishes. So I would recommend. So if you can get for your girlfriend, the vegetarian dishes that I would like are paneer. Paneer is cottage cheese. It's cut into cubes. It has the consistency of tofu, but it's a little bit more milky. I usually get saag paneer, which is just spinach and paneer, and they basically like make the spinach really like that filled with spices, and it sounds very plain and bland, but it's so good.
Oh
And
my
you get
god.
it with naan, garlic naan, preferably
I've
because
had naan. That
yeah,
stuff's nice.
it's so good. It's so good. So if you do it with garlic naan, and then you create a little. So the difference, there's a kind of difference between North Indian and South Indian food. So this is North Indian that I'm primarily talking about because I'm North
Right.
Indian. South Indian food includes South Indian food is more geared towards, I guess you could say this. I'm making generalizations, but so if anyone who's Indian, South Indian, they can correct me. But the general consensus of what I've gotten from South Indian food is that they're more rice based, and North Indian food is more roti based. So like all the breads.
Mm,
So if you go to a North Indian restaurant, they'll usually have either a saag paneer or a palak paneer. Both are kind of the same thing.
mm,
And you can have that with naan, or you can have it with rice. If you went to a South Indian restaurant, they have a beautiful dish. It's called
mm.
dosa, and it's basically like a giant crepe filled with
I
potato.
like crepes.
Yeah, filled with potatoes, and then you have all these chutneys, which are like kind of like the Indian salsa.
Mm,
Chutneys where you can dip it in, and then you have this little bowl of sambar. And sambar is like kind of like this lentil soup. It's so good. And you dip it, so you like use your hand, you
mhm.
dip it in all of this stuff, and it's really, really good.
Right.
And then they also have this thing called idli, which are little rice patties that you can also put in sambar and eat together. And it soaks up all of the. I don't know if you've ever had injera from in Ethiopian food.
Yeah. Oh God. There's an
Yeah,
Ethiopian spot down the street. That's why I love living
exactly.
downtown.
Italy has the same kind of consistency and kind of tangy taste.
Okay, got you. Yeah,
So
I know what
like
you're talking about.
that
I
can
eat
like
that food all the
really
time.
that can get you in that mindset.
Right.
Um,
Right.
So that South Indian food that I would recommend is dosa and idli sambar. And then for North Indian food, the palak paneer, butter chicken is my favorite.
Mm,
Very tomato, creamy, spicy, just all around best thing ever. If you want something a little more like with red meat, I would definitely get like um some lamb, or I would get actually goat. So like vindaloo and stuff like that. That's also really good.
mm, mm.
Um, these are all like very typical of Indian restaurants.
Yeah.
This is not typical of what a home is
Mm,
like, though. A
mm,
home is very different. I think Padma Lakshmi talks about this a lot. She talks about how there's a very big disconnect between Indian actual home food and Indian restaurant food.
mm.
So
So
like
it's not just like Chinese, because Chinese people do that too.
yeah, it's very similar. Like the stuff we eat at home is it's like vastly different. Like the taste is different.
Wow.
Everything is different. Um,
Wow.
yeah. So it's
That's
like
dope though. That's
yeah,
like
it is.
marketing.
It's crazy because I think it's like so like what my mom would cook, you would never find that in a restaurant.
Mm,
But what you can find like the dal makhanis, which is lentils, palak paneer. Like my mom will make dal makhani at home, but it's so like the taste is so different from what a restaurant would give.
my stomach is growling now.
Yeah. I know I gave like I'll send you like a bunch of recommendations because I'm sure
Yeah.
like, the spellings and all of that will confuse you, but like
Hmm.
the all of the dishes that I named are tend to be in North Indian restaurants. So if you are in a North Indian restaurant, definitely get those things. They're really good. And even I would recommend them even though I'm used to my mom's home cooked meals.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much for the insight, because
Yeah, for
we're
sure.
gonna do that tonight. That's gonna be the first thing I do when I clock out of work tonight. Go over to
Yes.
the spot,
Tell me
and
how it is. Tell me
I'll keep you updated. Definitely.
10 pics. I want to know.
Oh, I got you. I don't got a really good camera, but my girlfriend has a 12, so
Yeah, yeah,
she can
yeah.
do
Tell her
it.
I'll give her all the good veg options. I'll give you all the good chicken options. Yeah, my family's big on meat. We eat a lot of meat in our household, but my mom loves vegetarian food too. So like
Mm,
we have a good balance of understanding of like what's good veg and what's good meat,
mm.
which is great.
So in New York, do you have like is there like a community out there in Manhattan that's like Indian
Mhm.
community that you could meet and talk to and stuff like that? And
Yes, I mean we have a huge we have a place, I mean it's literally right next to my home. It's
hmm
called Little India, and they have like a bunch of Indian restaurants, stores,
wow,
all lined on the street. So I usually get all my Indian grocery shopping done there.
nice.
And they have a really great restaurant that I always go to. It's called Bhatti. And
hmm
there was a girl on TikTok, I forget her handle, but she was like recommending places for date nights. And she was like, there's this really good Indian restaurant called Bhatti. And I was like, this is the one person I like trust her now. Like full on trust every recommendation she's made because she mentioned that restaurant. She was like, best place to get Indian food. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's Indian food for some reason, like especially in like urban communities. I don't understand. Like some people don't like it. And I'm just like,
I
bro,
get
I
scared.
always liked it.
It's scary. I mean, there was that article recently that I forget what his name was. I think it was Weingarten. He made this article saying like, I just don't like Indian food. And the way he said it, he was
What a
like,
jerk.
it's so overrated because it's
Mhm.
made from one spice. Totally not true. It's not made from one spice. It is absolutely insane to think that it was made from one spice.
Yeah.
Indian food takes a lot of time, takes a lot of
Yeah.
effort. It's a really, I mean, like when my mom makes her goat curry,
Mhm.
korma.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when my mom makes korma, that takes 5 hours of churning.
That's amazing.
And
That's amazing.
I recently had to do the churning and I was like, this is miserable. Like it is 5 hours of labor and then overnight marination, like all
Yes.
the cut of meat has to be correct. It is such a science. Indian
Mhm.
food is a science. And people don't recognize that. And it's also kind of scary. It's very intimidating. I've had friends who were scared because they
Mhm.
were like, it's so overwhelming. There's so many spices, there's so much going on.
Mm.
So I can understand why people are scared. Also, like if you're not used to certain smells going together, like I'm used to it kind of all because it's
Mhm.
just been in my household. But if you're not used to certain smells, if your nose is sensitive, it can be very intimidating. But I guarantee there is an Indian food for you. I
Yes.
guarantee because there is so much variety. Like if you don't like a certain bread, there's another bread for you. Like there's like 50 different types of bread, there's 50 different types of dishes. It's not just limited to curry and one spice and whatever you just see in an Indian restaurant. Like there
Right.
is so much variety and there will be something that you find that you like.
That is
So I
absolutely
encourage
beautiful.
people to talk to an Indian person. And
That
then
is
maybe
absolutely beautiful. God,
maybe
I'm
get
down for spice. I love spice.
yeah, and some people get scared of like real hot chili. Like
Yeah.
Indians, there are
Don't be a punk.
no,
Don't be a
but
punk.
I'm
Like
a
it.
punk. I'm a punk too because I'm from a region that doesn't
Mhm.
use like
Right.
the really spicy stuff.
Right.
And like my boyfriend, he's from a region that is like full on spice. Like, ooh, his stuff is hot. And it's crazy because like that's what people get afraid of and get so caught up on it. If you just learn a little bit more about the subcontinent, you kind of get a better idea of like what could potentially be super spicy and what could not. Like I just went to a dosa place and the food there was like the mashed potato that they have in the dosa, it's not spicy at all. Like it's literally like so simple and people get so
A
scared. I'm like,
lie. That's what
guys,
it is.
this is not spice. Like, guys, this is flavor. Um, there's difference. There's a difference. I know Indians who can have like very, very hot stuff. I'm not one of those Indians. So um, trust a person who gets spice level as well.
I trust you. I trust
Ah,
you. My girlfriend's not big on spice neither, so she'll
yeah,
trust
yeah.
you.
I got her. I got her. I got her.
So have you built so your fan base? Where's your fan base mostly right now? Like who's bumping MC right now?
I have a lot of fans who are, well, I don't really like to call them fans. I call them my AMC family because
Aw,
I'm an only child, and literally whoever comes and crosses my path, I immediately make them my family. That's how
wow.
it's always been. That's part of the culture too. Like
Yeah.
whenever somebody says they need to come over or they want something, they usually, like, Indian people are very hospitable.
Mm.
Anything for the guest. So that's kind of how I like to run my show, is trying to like make people feel like they're in my house. Whether it's
That's
on my
amazing.
Instagram,
Yeah.
whether it's let me cater to you type
Aw.
situation. So mostly my family is in New York.
Mm.
But we're trying to expand a little bit more into India. So like we do have
That's awesome.
Amsterdam people in India. We also have some, I recently found out we have some people in London. We have some people in
Yeah.
Canada.
That's
So
the money, girl.
yeah,
London.
so we're trying to,
They love that ethnic shit. They
yeah,
they going crazy over Afro beats right now.
yeah, they are. And drill.
Yep,
Um,
drill, yep.
drill beats. So yeah, I'm very excited about that we're growing our little family and making it bigger. TikTok has really helped
Yeah, TikTok
grow
is an
that
amazing
family.
platform. I agree.
Yeah, I love TikTok. I actually have to make a TikTok after this.
Nice,
um,
hustling.
yeah, so I love that, and I think it's really a unique platform where I can, marry music and
Mm.
social activism and all of that stuff.
I love to hear that because a lot of I know the orange person that should not be named. He
Yes.
tried so hard to make it seem like, oh, it's a China takeover claw and stuff like that. I'm like, no, artists are getting a chance to have more interaction and more content with their fans, and they're
Yeah.
able to promote their music. It's a great platform for that. Why are
Yeah.
you hating?
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, it's a great platform for that, and it's recently, I think, surpassed YouTube on viewership. So
Good,
people
because
are
YouTube need to
really,
learn.
yeah, I feel like it's just a platform that you can grow a lot faster.
Nice.
You're not limited to an algorithm. I mean, you are limited to an algorithm to an
Yeah,
extent. There have
you
been
never
times,
escape that. Yeah.
yeah, I was shadow banned a couple of times. But
You?
yeah, I was
Why?
shadow banned. I was talking about, it was during Black Lives Matter. They were shadow banning
Oh
everyone.
man, it's
Sucks.
all right.
Even I mean, I'm on Instagram, the algorithm is now banning people from talking about Palestine.
Yeah,
Um so
yeah.
that
My
has
video
always
got
been,
demonetized.
huh?
One of my videos got demonetized.
Yeah,
They flagged it and everything.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. The censorship is real, but at the same time with TikTok, I feel like even though the censorship is there, um, there's a way to break through. There's so many different people who are, working um, towards the uncensoring of
Right.
TikTok in that sense. And it's really been quite interesting how much I can grow just from speaking my mind on that platform and not feeling judged too harshly. Um,
Mm, mm.
so yeah, I love TikTok.
Yeah, that's really dope. And your album, do you have a new album coming out? How many albums do you have out right now for viewers to start like getting
Yeah.
into your music and stuff?
I actually have no albums out right now. I'm gearing up to release another single, hopefully in 2022.
Word, word.
I am gearing up to do some collaborations in 2022. We might do an EP. It really honestly depends on this pandemic because of the
Yeah.
fact that in order to release, we would love to do a tour to go with it.
Right.
I think it's unfortunate. We were supposed to release actually something in 2021
Mhm.
altogether, but we've just been releasing the singles one by one because we weren't able to perform these songs, and we wanted to do these songs justice in a way and not really hold out on them. So
Right.
we've been doing the whole single strategy at the moment. But when we see that people want more, we will definitely be in the works of doing something very soon. But we're just trying to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, that's absolutely smart. I was talking about that with Denzel Williams and a record owner, Stud the Kid. They talk about the importance of instead of just putting out so much music. This may sound, but for people that's listening, repetitive C gives you greater accuracy on your craft. So instead of just pushing out albums and albums, like my band, we're working on another album, but before that, we for 2-3 years focused on the song one, which is the intro of this podcast.
Mhm.
Because it takes a long time to just build a single. And when you build a really good, strong single, you could get a good buzz out of it because it doesn't overwhelm your consumer.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. That's so important. I mean, as
And
talented
you
as you
can
are,
and you can you know elongate the
right?
single's lifespan. I mean, look at Jeet Raho. The music video came out last month,
Mhm.
but that song's been out since January.
Yeah, see, there you go.
And I've just been promoting it all year because it means so much to me. It's a song that I worked on for 3 years of my
Mhm.
life, and it's a song that genuinely keeps me going every day. I mean, I get nervous about life or anything like that, and I honestly have to say to myself, "Jeete raho," like keep going. Like this is not a time to give up. This is not a time to um, you know, bow your head down. This is a time to stand up and do something for yourself that's worthwhile.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's beautiful in a time like this during COVID.
yeah, I
Definitely
mean,
a
it's
time like
not
this.
over. I don't think it'll ever be over.
Right,
It's just
right.
one of those things that I think it's what's really going to happen is that we're this might be controversial to say, but we're all eventually going to have to be like either sick or vaccinated or something. Like something's going to have to happen in that sense, and then we just develop this kind of herd immunity. It's kind
Right.
of like getting a flu shot every year. Like it's the
Yeah.
same type of, I think, what might be the trajectory of this um, disease is that it's not really going to go away. It's more like we're just going to have control over it, and
Yeah.
we're slowly going to wean ourselves off of all of the trauma
Yeah.
that we've
Yeah.
experienced in the past 2 years.
Oh God, COVID, man. It's such a big deal.
Yeah, really, really knocked us all down a peg.
And are you going to be doing more are you venturing with more genres, or are you trying to stay in a different in a Bollywood type of pop? Is there any that you have thought about like venturing in?
So I initially started with like a little bit of R&B,
Mhm.
and then I ventured. Then I always knew my passion was pop, but I was just like
Yeah.
being one of those, trying to be more deep than I actually was.
Mm.
um,
Understandable.
that sounds very you know self-deprecating, but that was literally what it was. Is like I was
Mm.
afraid to do pop music because I was afraid of judgment, and then finally I was just like, "F it!" Like I need to be a pop singer. Like this is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's my freaking bread and butter. I listen to pop music all day.
Right.
That's what I love. Just because I like an R&B song doesn't mean I have to sing it.
Right.
It doesn't mean that it has to be my permanent style. The Bollywood aspect of my music, the Desi part of my music, um, I only do that with certain songs. Like I did it
Mm.
with Jeete Raho. It was kind of like the first song that I did it with.
Mhm.
I have another song called Replace You that I've also done it with, where I've added a little bit of that and Catch Me at the Top as well.
Mm.
But I think like the reason why I've wanted to do Desi pop is because there's never been a Desi pop artist. Like I have not seen one yet.
In the
Like
States,
there's
yeah.
not a woman who, I mean, we have Raja Kumari who's in hip hop space.
Yep.
We have Tesher, who is kind of pop, but like it's not really pop. It's more producer electronic with Jason Derulo singing Jalebi Baby.
He is so cute, but
Yeah,
continue.
he's so cute. And then who else? We had Priyanka Chopra that hot second doing I'm Feeling So Exotic.
I've heard of that, yeah.
That, I mean, with Pitbull, but that was just like a one time, like, so there's never been a woman or anyone. I mean, we had Jay Sean for a hot second. There's never been really a person, maybe MIA. I'm like naming these people, but like,
oh my God, I still listen to her.
Yeah,
she is phenomenal.
She's phenomenal, but
she's like big in the UK, really.
She's big in the UK, and what's frustrating is the fact that we don't have anyone to look at. There's no one. I've yet to see an Indian person or a Desi person, anyone in the Indian diaspora or Desi diaspora who has reached a level of such that people are being like, that's me, that I'm her, like I can be her, like, and it's all of these people's cultivation of their hard work that allows for newer artists like me to kind of, try my hand at it. I wouldn't have the confidence without these people who I look up to. I wouldn't be able to actually even be okay with delving into this situation without seeing people own their culture and their heritage. I because of these people, I'm able to, be who I am today. And I think that's where I had a really big turning point in my music, where I said, I need to stop running away and pretending that I can market myself as this other type of person when I have all of this culture within me that I have not tapped into. And so I will be continuing to make Desi pop music as well as just a normal pop song that people can just jam to whenever they feel. But I do think Desi music has such potential, especially now that we are seeing, Latin music do so incredible and be in mainstream.
Look at that.
Bad
Bunny took the game fucking over.
Bad Bunny, all of these people have taken the game over, and it's like, why can't Desi people do the same? Like we have Jalebi Baby right now, that's like a #1 hit. Why can't we continue this trajectory? And we're seeing more people be more visible. There's so many more Desi influencers. These were spaces that we didn't feel like we were even allowed to be in, because all of us were put in that box of doctor, engineer, lawyer, this, that. And now we're starting to explore the arts, and we have so much richness within us. There's no reason for us not to express it, especially since
I love that
we're growing as a community.
That's awesome. I love that. And let me tell you, it's going to buzz. It's going to buzz. And you're going to be looked at one of the pioneers from the past that helped buzz it, like one of the founding women. I'll tell you right now, because that's how it always is with genres that Americans don't understand. That's how it always is. And then when they hear that beat and they hear that rhythm, they're like, "Ooh, this is different." All it takes is one. Like look what's happening with Afrobeat. Like all of a sudden it's big in the States now, and it never was big in the States at all.
Exactly.
I'm kind of happy that it is, because it's making more of my people pro-black, because we be acting up sometimes. They be getting on my nerves. But when they put that Afro beat on and they listening to that Yoruba mixed with Swahili and English, you're like, oh God, yes, you back to the roots. Damn it. Stop listening.
I mean, like, look at the Somali song that is taking over. Like that Somalian woman. I don't know how to sing it. But the one that's like, and I love you more than my life.
Yes. Like, it's a great song. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, Arab music is making a huge
yes, it is.
Introduction in TikTok. Everyone is now listening and feeding off of, and it couldn't happen before. It literally couldn't. And now it can, because of the internet and because of places like TikTok and because of Spotify and because people have just so much access to music. I remember I used to go to India and nobody would, they would listen to American music, but they didn't know the smaller artists. They only knew like the big, like Titanic, artists, and now they're listening to like Machine Gun Kelly, like, and
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar. I mean, Kendrick Lamar is a heavy hitter, but you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like my cousins
Right.
would have
Right.
never been exposed to
They're
Kendrick Lamar.
expanding now. Yeah.
Like they're completely. I mean, you should see the India genre change in just Indian music in general. They're starting to dabble in hip hop, and I'm like,
Whew,
y'all
yes,
got so much slack. What happened?
yes. Let
Now
me
you
tell
like,
you something about that. That is absolutely amazing.
yeah.
I've been listening to it. What got me onto it was recently during the pandemic. One of my friends, shout out to G, he's a liquor store owner and he's also Indian. He
Mm-hmm.
plays that music.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here listening to it while I'm in line. I'm just like,
Right. Very interesting. People are now really genre
what
bending.
is this? Yes. Yes.
Yep. India has become so cool in that sense. There's so many, and they're like coffee shop, like indie artists that are really, and just things you would have never like thought Indian music to be.
I love it. I love the expansion because you know what it's going to do. It's going to make it's going to set a bar for music, and
I mean, music
somebody,
is just going to be incredible now. Like,
yeah,
I mean, now that people are like, doing, crazy like remixes and mixes,
right,
it's going to be beautiful.
right, and there's going to be some kid overseas that's going to hear that, and they're just going to get inspired by that, and then they're going to bring their community on top. It's just going to be a, a a snowball, like it's
Yeah.
all that's just so amazing. I love it. And I love it because it's finally breaking boundaries with these record labels as well, too, because they
Mhm.
just think that they could dictate what sells, they could
Yeah.
dictate what brings in the seats. When no, we literally have a Nigerian artist, Wizkid, that just came over and he's selling out everywhere he fucking go. And
Yeah.
it's like, what? He's a Nigerian artist.
It's incredible. I mean, like, even if you look at talk show hosts, Trevor Noah, South
Yeah.
African man, is hosting the Daily Show. Like, you could not even say that 10
Right.
years ago.
Nope, you couldn't. You couldn't. Then you got Bad Bunny just
Yeah.
making reggaeton more expansive. It's to the point that reggaeton artists that are not as big as he is hating on him now. It's like, come on, guys, he's doing this for y'all. Like, show some respect.
It's crazy because I mean, it's incredible, and like credit is deserved where credit is due, but it's also just it's incredible how we can share so much now, and it's really a beautiful thing, and I think that we all need to embrace it. I listen to different types of world music all the time to get inspiration. I'm currently listening to a lot of Arab pop / hip hop.
Who you listening to right now? Put the fans on real quick. This is a podcast.
His name is, I want to not butcher his name. Hold on.
No problem. I butchered your name from the beginning. Now I got it.
It's okay. It's all good. His name is, I just want to make it. Yeah, Marwan Pablo.
Okay.
He's definitely not new, but like I think he's new
OG.
because
yeah,
Marwan Pablo, really great work.
You know who I listen to? Low Key. You ever heard of Low Key? He's Afghanistan, and he lives in the UK. Low Key.
Is it Loki?
Lokey.
I think I've listened to him.
He advocates for Palestine a lot. He has a song called "Long Live Palestine" where he gets a lot of Arabic and Middle Eastern rappers on. It's a great.
I know. It's honestly sharing cultures in that way is so fun, and it's just like sharing food. Like,
yeah, music
it's
is literally food.
Music is the language that everyone can speak. Like, I don't need to know what Marwan Pablo is saying. All I need to know this is a banger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need all of that. And I think that's what's so beautiful is that we can all enjoy that and not feel any type of way, because music is music, food is food. Like, if it's good stuff, it's good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, I need to wrap this up. I got another person I have to interview.
No worries.
But oh my God, MC, thank you so much for coming on. And
Thank you
everybody
for
check
having
out
me.
Rahul.
You did a
Jita Rahul. Yes.
Yes.
Check it out. That song's a banger. And
Thank you.
after you check it out, well, this episode should be released within 2 weeks.
Perfect.
So they'll have time to check it out because it'll be Thanksgiving. Show it to your family. And for my Native American people, it'll be Day of Mourning. For all my Day of Mourning people that celebrate Day of Mourning instead of Thanksgiving, bang this out because this is definitely about about coexistence and definitely about building as a community. All these things we're all in this together. And I'm not talking about the rich people that are able to just isolate themselves. I'm talking about everybody that's like struggling and knows about COVID, that has to deal with all this shit with COVID, didn't have a chance to leave. They had to stay, my New York peeps especially. Listen to this music. This is the kind of music that America is going to be blasting in the next 10, 20 years. Even, could be next year. You never know. All you need is one person to buzz, support her. Support this young lady right here. This is one of the greats. I'm telling you right now. She's gonna blow up. She's gonna blow up so much. She's not even gonna come back to this show. That's how bad she's gonna blow up.
I'll always come back. Thank you.
No, that's perfectly fine though. Like it's not even a problem. You know what I mean? Like, you got any concerts or any shows you're doing? I know New York's opening up a little bit.
Yeah.
I hate the restrictions. I did a show there at the Bitter End.
The Bitter End is great, but yeah, the restrictions are tough. I actually don't have anything coming up yet, but you guys can follow me on all my social media. It is at This Is Amsi, AMSI. There is all the updates. You guys can literally, I say everything on my social media. So make sure to follow me on all of it. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all is at This Is Amsi. You guys can also sign up for my mailing list, which is at www.amcmusic.com. That mailing list will give you access to all the latest announcements. And we're announcing something very soon. So if you guys want to join the Amsi fam, please sign up for the mailing list. Follow me on all my music platforms and social media, and we will give you all the tea.
Oh, thank you so much, MC. And have a very good day. Shouts out to your publicist, and shouts out to your whole team out there doing a lot of good things. And I hope to see you again. Maybe I'll add you back on next season. If you have any time, but don't I won't take it any way. But when I reach out, and if you have any time, that'll be freaking dope. The universe will be in. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and happy Diwali to everybody.
Happy Diwali, everybody, and have a very good day.
Collectively transforming community, peace in our human family, volume in unity, divine light shining individually, collectively transforming community, peace in our human family.
Growth as above, so below. Feel the pain in my soul, the red pill dissolved. Organized, no matter the cost. Politicians start wars, they don't fight, they send the poor. And nothing lasts forever as long as we stay together. Give hell to the masses, watch the unity rapture. This is for the kids and the culture. It's one love, one growth, one light, light warriors.